So when does the senior seem like to make off and I will need to go back?
Okay, that should be fine then.
Okay. Do you want me to redo it?
No, you can probably just
Start with the second question?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that.
It's okay. No problem.
Okay. I think I might have to exit out and then go back.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, is it going? Oh yeah, recording. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So what would you tell a young Latina girl to motivate her to achieve her goals?
I would tell all the female students that I work with that the only person that can keep them from reaching their goals is them. It's not anybody else, because when it comes down to it, they're the only person that has control over the decisions and the choices that they make. And I also instill in them that it's important that they have an education, even more than high school, because I want my students to be able to be independent. I want them to be independent and not have to rely on anybody to take care of them. So I always tell them, you want to make sure that you get yourself in a position where you're not having to rely on anyone.
If you could tell your 16-year-old self something, what would it be?
That's a good question. What would I tell my 16-year-old self? Not to worry so much, that things will work out, that hard work does pay off, and to never stop believing in yourself and what you can accomplish.
How do you think your teachers perceived you while you were in high school?
I think they perceived me as, I think they saw me as capable and as somebody that had potential. Fortunately, I feel like I have a lot of teachers that believed in me. So I think they probably perceived me as somebody that, could be successful, could go on to college.
Did you ever feel like your teachers didn't set high expectations for you? How could they have done things differently?
I never really felt that way. I felt like the teachers had high expectations. I think one thing that could have been done differently, just in general, with even just my friends, is more talk about going to college, because I grew up in a small town, in the desert in Barstow, and the closest college campus is Cal State San Bernardino, and so it would have been nice to have maybe more field trips, more talk about what college life is like. Fortunately, I'm the youngest by 10 to 14 years, because I have four older siblings, and so it was helpful because they had gone through college and they were like my role model. So maybe kind of what I didn't get from my teachers in terms of knowledge about the college process, I was able to get from my siblings, which was a nice advantage that not everybody has.
What would you tell your teacher about yourself when you were 16 that you didn't at that age?
I don't know. These are good questions. What would I tell my teacher that I didn't know about myself then that I know now? Probably that I really am a hard worker, because I don't know that in high school I put forward 100% effort. I mean, I probably put forward 80% effort, and I was okay with that. So I think the older I got and as I went on through college, I realized that I did have a really strong work ethic. And so I would probably tell them that my work ethic is stronger it will be stronger than what it was at the time.
Could you name one thing that impacted how you got to where you are today?
I think family support, definitely. Having had my daughter at a young age, definitely having my family support me in terms of continuing to pursue college and encouraging me to reach my goals. I think that was really helpful. And I think also my parents, had an 8th grade education. Neither one of them graduated from high school. That even from a young age, I remember them instilling in me that, education was important, and it was like college was basically not even given as an option. It was something that you were going to go to college, you know. So it was like, this is what you will do when you graduate from high school. And I think that that was a real blessing because they really instilled the value of education, and just seeing what they went through really helped me to realize, yeah, college is important and high school is important too.
When did you start to develop pride for your identity?
You know, I would say I started to develop pride for my identity when I went away to college. Yeah, probably my first year in college, you know, where you actually start to explore who you are and really kind of get a feel for your background and where you come from. Because I kind of think I just took it for granted. Because I grew up in Barstow, but the high school that I went to was very diverse. So you had a wide range of different ethnicities, cultures. So I think in a lot of ways I was oblivious to even prejudice and racism, and it wasn't until I went on to college that I kind of started to take a look at even valuing my identity, but also taking a look at some of the struggles, you know, that people have because of the color of their skin. My nose is running.
There are some stereotypes about power. How do you think you may have power and use it effectively as a Latina female?
I mean, we all have power. Every person has the ability to is going to leave a mark on a student's life. You know, it could be positive or it could be negative. And I think there are some people that abuse their power because they don't realize that what they say really does impact students, and sometimes they say ignorant, stupid things. So for me, I'm always aware that what I say, you know, there are students that are listening, and I want to leave a positive mark. And so I think I could use my power or leadership as a role, you know, to be a role model to other students, to help guide them and help them to realize that, you know, if I can do it, they can do it. I always tell my students that you really, like, because a lot of times students will say, oh, you have a master's degree? You must be really smart. And I'll say, you know, I think I'm just average intelligence. And, you know, anybody can go to college and get a degree as long as you're willing to work hard and as long as you're willing to have that self-discipline. You don't have to be a genius to have a college degree. And I think helping them to realize that it's something that's attainable, and it's not, and college isn't just for a certain type of person. I think that that's really important. I think that's a way that you could utilize your power to influence people in a positive way.
What's the difference between personal power versus female social power?
What would I see the difference between personal power and female social power? I don't know. I guess I would think of like, I would think of maybe in society, maybe there are some people that view strong women as maybe like feminists. And, you know, for me, it's more about being able to be comfortable with who you are and recognizing that you basically can do anything that a male can do. And I guess that was, I don't know if that answers the question. Does that answer the question okay? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully that
Okay.
was good.
Yeah.